billboards, I do a lot of portraits, I do a lot of commercial work, so the billboards you see are online. I do a lot of fashion editorials for most of the magazines in the Philippines and also abroad. And I do a lot of personal work. By personal work, I mean like I'm not commissioned to do it. I just do it for the sake of doing it. I go a little crazy sometimes and I have to release. So I shoot outside for a lot. Okay, so these are actual chapters from the Big Friendly Giant, and I'm just gonna take what applies. Like one of the speakers said a while ago, like Thea, she said, like, take what applies to you. So I predicted that. Okay, so the witching hour. I call it the witching hour because when I was very young, my mom was very scared of me. Why? Okay. That was me at 2 years old. I was reading encyclopedias. I was painting. I was posing like in a magazine spread cover girl. I was apparently ready to go to high school because I loved science and I could, explain all sorts of things that a 2-year-old was supposed to know. But I was very unimpressed by it all. All I wanted were nips and hot dogs. And my favorite clipping of all time, parents of young genius seek help. So obviously you can tell why everyone was so scared of me when I was young, because they didn't know what to do with me anymore. Okay, next slide. So when I was 2 years old, has anyone heard of the term gifted? Yes. In case your parents said like you should be like that. If there's something, I'm very sorry. I didn't mean all of that. So this was back in 1989, and I was in headlines for quite a while because you can read it for yourself. I'm not gonna expound. But obviously, I wasn't a normal 2-year-old. My early years were spent being taught by my mom. She's a very good teacher. And instead of playing, we would always study about science. So she made it part of our everyday lives, like to learn. So we had toys, but I never picked them up because I was weird. And like in the bathtub, while we had stuff floating around, she would, explain why they floated. And like name the technical, I don't know, like color spectrum. I can't remember. We would be taken to museums instead of toy stores, and that would be fun for us because this was what was normal for us. So even my brother, he's a smart one. And I was a member of the Philippine Astronomical Society when I was 2. Like name stars and the planets. Okay. Let's just fast forward to a few years. I was in a commercial, a promo commercial, when I was 8, and it was supposed to be because I was very good in science. So if you can read somewhere down there, it says Shaira Luna, Junior Anatomist, because I was very good at describing like the parts of the body and how everything worked. So they always thought that I would become a doctor. And that was my schedule. I was 8 years old, but every week I had all these TV guestings, all these interviews, all these like doctors meeting me and evaluating me, and psychologists, some crazy stuff. So I call it the witching hour. Okay, next please. Okay, so let's move on. Chapter 2, and these are two titles, 2 chapters from the BFG, The Cave and the BFG. Let me just read it to you. Sophie feels that she's moving very fast, but how? The wind is rushing past her face as she bravely peeks out from her blanket. What is it? Where is she going? So at age 8, I think this summarizes my life. Like everything was so fast. Like I just kept moving and moving and moving, and then I didn't know where I was going. But I was like peeking out. Like, okay, it's the world. My childhood, I guess you can say it wasn't normal. I was always doing guest things. talking and being interviewed and like being prepared to become a doctor. So I had like features on CNN, something Asia, people would come to our house and set up cameras everywhere. We would dissect pigs' hearts on weekends and stuff. I would play different instruments. That's me and my brother reading encyclopedias. Talk when I were just talking about encyclopedias a while ago. We were very strange kids, may I say. We loved encyclopedias. Yeah, next slide, please. And in high school, although I didn't get the highest grades, I was very busy. I was in a lot of extracurricular activities. Were you guys ever? Yeah, like same thing. And I even joined the bonsai club. Wala lang, para lang I had a lot of extracurricular activities. And I was also starting to produce segments for a morning show. So, yeah, by the age of 12, I was writing for magazines, I was hosting, I was producing stuff for TV. And at the same time, people were still expecting me to become a doctor. So I had a lot of interests aside from academics. I played 8 instruments. I painted. I joined debates. I would build dioramas. Normal things you do in high school. I would do recitals on weekends, dance, ballet, gymnastics. Parang lahat na. Like if that were on Instagram, parang ikaw na. Alright, so college, I don't have slides to show for this because college for me I can't really summarize in a few pictures. I think college was not the most difficult, but the weirdest part of my life because everything is very scheduled up to that point. But in college, I was on my own and I was inside 4 walls and no one could see what I was doing. So I did actually end up taking a pre-med course, like they mentioned earlier at 13. I entered human biology, which is a quota course, and there were only very few of us in that course. And I chose that course because in 6 years you can become a doctor. So if I entered at 13, and I'm not good at math, but I was supposed to graduate at 19, and that would have made me like a junior Dewey Hauser. Who knows who Dewey Hauser is? Just checking. Okay. And that was the ultimate goal. Before I go to that, I ended up moving out of my biology course after 2 years. I guess it was because I felt that medicine wasn't actually for me after all, but all this time I thought it was. Does any of you feel like that? Like, you're in this so long already, and then like, do I give up now? like I spent so much time and energy and even your parents' money in the course, and then what do I do? Do I just finish it just because I have to? So ultimately I made the decision to shift out, and I shifted maybe 4